You're watching the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Salah to settle it in front of the Kop.
Hello and welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. Today you find me in the EastEnders Pie and Mash shop in the East End of London with the East End Governor. It's only Nicky Hawkins. Wow, you're up there. You and Dan Lawless, you're up there for sure.
You're up there.
You, Ray Winston, and you, and a couple others. How are you doing, mate?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, thanks for inviting me on.
Yeah, we just did a great preview on your channel. We had a 2 up and 2 down, pie and mash.
2 up, 2 down.
And then we've got jelly deals, which we have just tried.
Do you want to try them again on yours? We'll do that later, maybe later.
Yeah,
we're going to spoon.
We'll do it.
Yeah, all right, we'll do it.
But listen, before we get into this match preview, make sure you smash that like button, comment with your lineup predictions, your score predictions as well, and of course subscribe to not only the Kop TV but also West Ham Fan TV as well, up the Irons. Interesting season, really, when you look at the face of it for you and I. I mean, I've worked with you so many times throughout the last 8 or 10 months, and you know, it's been up and down at West Ham, but again, the last couple of weeks, you're scoring goals, you're playing well in Europe, and you know, we lost at this ground last season. So if I was in West Ham's shoes, I'd be saying, bring Liverpool on right now.
I'll tell you what, mate, if you'd have come to me 2 weeks ago, I would have killed their chances. But you know, they've shown me hope. They've given me hope in the last few weeks. I'll be honest with you, I've done a prediction on DR, and I had us to go down. I've seen some fucking teams out, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen some fucking bad teams. But it's not that we're a bad team, it was just the attitude and the application, and it just had all of the hallmarks of a relegation season. I see a great West Ham team go down with the likes of DeCanny, Canute, Joe Cole, Michael Carrick.
Is this in 03?
03, yeah. And Jermaine Defoe.
Wow.
So, you know, I've felt that before, and I could feel that. But the last few weeks, that Arsenal result, we got a couple of results where we didn't really play well. You know, the Fulham result, and maybe what was the one before that, Dan? Southampton, yeah. We wasn't great.
Is that a draw, that one?
No, we won. We beat them, yeah. But we wasn't great in them games. And then we played Arsenal, went 2-0 down early doors. It looked like it was going to be a cricket score. And then all of a sudden, something clicked. And Lucas Paqueta has gone from becoming the biggest flop in the league to...
You had him down as up there with the biggest flop?
He had to be, yeah, because he was awful at times. From the biggest flop in the league to he's running games now, Al. Like, he's like seriously running the midfield in these games, and that's what we wanted. And it just seems like them new signings are clicking with the old players, and it's all starting to come together. And it's coming at the right time for us because we need it.
This is the only best time really to start playing it, right? It's the end of April, start of May. Paqueta again was courted by all the big clubs before he signed for West Ham. So that's why I've been saying I disagreed with you, because from the outsider's perspective, I'm saying if you look at the team that they've got, it's way too good to be going down to the Championship in this day and age. And listen, with Millwall potentially coming back up next season to the Premier League, can you imagine the match previews for that?
But yeah, they come from over the road there.
All right, well, we'll keep our nuts down a little bit. But talking about this game on Wednesday, as we know, West Ham won this exact game 3-2 last season. Last winning consecutive home games against Liverpool, 2014 to 2016, done us twice. Liverpool won 10 of the last 12 league games with West Ham. There was that draw we were talking about in February 2019, the 1-1. But this will actually give you a bit of hope, mate, because Liverpool have only won 6 of their Premier League away games in London this season. Drawn 3, lost 2. We only beat Spurs. And after losing 3 consecutive home games in November and December, West Ham have lost just 1 of the last 7 now. But Liverpool have also scored more goals in their 6-1 win in the last league away game than they had in their previous 8 on the road combined. So again, great moment for you, great moment for us. With the players that you've got, the players that we've got, how do you see this one going? Because under the lights, London Stadium, there might even be a bit of a European atmosphere around it. Do you reckon?
Maybe, yeah. I'm just starting to wonder now. We've done this work. We're pretty much. I'm not going to say we're out of the relegation picture because we're definitely not.
80% you are, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say we've got a good chance now of seeing ourselves be safe. You know, Leeds and Nottingham Forest now don't seem to be able to pick up points, and Southampton, you know, they're just starting. Everton are starting to roll back.
Yeah.
So I think we're just pulling ourselves out of that. Now 2 wins this week. If we beat you and beat Palace, it would be, that's it, completely safe. But I've got a feeling with these games in mind, the big sides, you know, we've got a couple of, I'm not going to say easy games, no game's easy in the Premier League, but, you know, we've got Leeds, Crystal Palace, Leicester. Winnable games, yeah.
Winnable.
With the semi-final coming up, we might start focusing on them and playing sort of like, I wouldn't say reserves because you never got reserve, but you know the players that don't get much time in the bigger games, and see what happens. And I wouldn't that wouldn't bother me, to be quite honest with you. You know, we done that last year when we come up to the semi-final. Obviously we come out and played Chelsea, played Arsenal in the league. Although it's a little bit different, we was higher up, we was nothing to worry about. We played sort of a weakened team, and Arsenal were pissed off because we give them a game, you know, and that's Arsenal for you.
They weren't expecting you to ruin the party like that.
No, they never do. They want it all handed to them on a silver platter, and that's not happening. But it's you know we can do that, and with us being a little bit more safe and sort of winnable games coming up, we could play a weekend side. But we're playing well at the minute, Al. We're playing well. You know, in the last couple of weeks we've started to play well, and things are starting to click. This could be a good game. This could be a good game of football.
It's going to be a good one to watch, I think, even for the neutral. I think, as you've seen against Bournemouth, 4 goals, 2 in 12 minutes, you were taking the piss.
Yeah.
Really. Away from home, really tight ground, it's tough to go
And we
there.
give them nothing. We give
and
them
that's
nothing.
So unlike the West Ham that I've seen and that you've seen this season. When was the last time you went away and won 4-0? So I think it's almost like we've started playing well, but so have you.
Yeah.
So how well can we play now, especially away at West Ham? Listen, Leeds is a bit of a beast as well, but that was 6-1, massive surprise if I'm honest, Nicky. So I wouldn't be surprised if we won, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we dropped points in this game, because Liverpool always revert back to character at this season especially. I don't think we've really gone more than 3 wins in a row.
Yeah.
At any point in any competition this season.
I think consistency is key, isn't it?
Oh, I mean, you have to beat what's in front of you, but if you can't do that and you start making a habit of being able to get up for the Cities at home, the United's at home, but then you can't go to, but like we lost to Bournemouth, 1-0. There's a perfect example. That's the difference between 4 weeks ago and this week. So, listen, tough place to go as we know, but I think Darwin, what have you made of Darwin? Because there's been a lot of, I would say, negative discourse around him, but listen, from your point of view, it's now 15 goals, I think 7 assists in all comps.
Listen,
What's your opinion?
I think Darwin
you were in for him.
We was in for him last year, and he had a tough start. He had a tough start to the season. It's a hard league to come into. You know, we had Lucas Paquetá. He hasn't quite grasped it. He's just starting to get. It's a hard league. Darwin Nunez is, for me, the perfect bit of clay to mould, because he's got everything there, and he needs to be moulded. He's not ready. You know, he's got to go in the kiln, but he's got all the tools, and I mean all the tools. And all he needs now is confidence. That's that, and I think that's it. A little bit of guidance from Klopp. I think Klopp's a perfect person. He's got everything. He's got everything that you need to be a perfect striker. He could be the next Erling Haaland. And I know Erling Haaland and him are quite similar ages. Erling's a different beast, but I'm telling you,
what you mean by that, though?
Yeah, he can be. He's
height,
got
strength,
pace,
sharpening his tools up a little bit. He could. I mean, I've said it.
Get a bit of arrogance.
Yeah. I mean, he's been quite unlucky not to start games recently. I think there's been a couple of more question marks thrown at him in the last week or two, just because he hasn't started away at Leeds or started at home to Forest. But he came on and scored against Leeds. Forest probably should have scored a header, but I've always said, I reckon next season, as you say, once he goes in the kiln, you mould him a bit, add a couple of attributes to his game. I like him. Is capable of 30 goals at all comps.
Yes,
clearly.
Absolutely, absolutely. At his age as well. Yeah. He's one of them players that I look at, and the things that does him is he does all the hard work. He'll do something unbelievable. He'll take on 3 players. He'll get himself into the box. He'll slide past one, slide past two, and then the finish let him down. And that's all you need. There's small pieces of the puzzle that need to be fitting in. And once he starts to hit the ground running, once a few of them do start going in, he'll gain confidence. And I'm telling you now, mark my words. Don't worry about the haters, all of the Man United fans. He will be a top player. I tell you, he'll be better than Weghorst. That's for fucking sure.
Well, me or you would be better up.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Honestly, I know, but I appreciate that, and I think he had a good game against West Ham the last time out, so that's what I'm hoping for anyway. Danny Ings, ex-Liverpool striker, speaking of strikers, hasn't really, has he got a fair crack at the whip since he's joined? I know Antonio's back in the goals. But
That's the thing. Danny Ings he doesn't really fit our system that well, I'll be honest with you. He's a natural goal scorer, but when you're struggling to create chances, he's struggling to get himself on the score sheet and make any impact on the game. And I think he inadvertently has become the catalyst, because it's not him that's doing it, but he's given Antonio that kick up the arse and thinking, right, well, I better start fucking playing now, because he's right up my arse. And he started a few games, scored a couple of goals, but I think he'll be brilliant with us, Danny Ings. I like Danny Ings. I've always liked Danny Ings. I always thought Danny Ings was a West Ham type player in the way we played before. This season we've played more defensive. We've played more in our shell. He's not been fantastic, but Antonio is now. He's the one you've got to watch out for. Antonio. He's
scored against us in the past.
He's a tricky customer, and he suits teams that come out and want to play expansive football, because he can run the wings. He's got strength. He's got pace. He's a bit clumsy.
And does well for Jamaica though as well. I've seen
really
couple
well
of goals he scored for them.
And he's scored a couple of crackers lately as well. He scored a cracker against Ghent.
Yeah,
that was like great finish. Top corner. They normally end up in row Z, but it's giving him a bit of confidence, and he's looking back like the Antonio that we know and love, and he can give anyone a game on their day. Yeah. Give problems.
All-time leading goal scorer for West Ham in the Premier League.
Yeah, that's madness.
You've got to respect it. All right, let's get on to score predictions. I think team-wise, Liverpool haven't changed for 2 games, so I think unless you drop a Gakpo for Nuñez, can't drop Jota, can't drop Salah. But I actually think Curtis Jones holds that position down. Maybe Thiago comes in, but I think that back 5 is as it was the other night. Obviously you've got games coming thick and fast at the minute. Is there any changes team-wise? And then let us know your score.
I think there's going to be changes. Yeah, I think there's got to be changes, because he's going to be looking. I think he's going to be looking more at the Palace game on Saturday. Yeah. I'll be honest. I think that and that's sensible. I think that's a sensible thing to do, because you pick up the 3 points against Palace, we're pretty much guaranteed to be in the Premier League next season, which is his aim. And we've got the European Cup, so I won't be surprised to see changes. I won't be surprised to see Zuma playing alongside maybe a Bonner. Emerson come back in at left back. Maybe Ingsy gets a start, maybe. But I think the midfield always picks itself. It'll be Suchek, Rice, and at the moment they're playing well.
Nice balance,
that'll be a nice. He might revert to 5. So he might put Cressy in, he might put Kehrer in, but I think there'll be a few changes. But they're all playing well. So
that's the thing. I'm not drop someone.
You can't drop someone. But if you do, even the subs have come on and done well. So I'm not too fussed about tomorrow, to be honest with you. I think it'll be a good game of football.
Because I'm clinging on to that 10% that
sometimes
I would have.
That's the downfall of teams, isn't it? If you need the game and the other team are a bit more relaxed.
100%, and you're right. Slim victory this one for Liverpool. Tough night. I think bigger fish to fry for you than us more.
Yeah.
Because you've got this European semi, you've got a chance of silverware. I think at the minute Liverpool fans have been sucked back in the last 2 weeks, but depending on this week with West Ham and Tottenham, how do we go into the next week feeling confident of getting top 4 if we don't pick up maximum points? So slim Liverpool win. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you go and follow West Ham Fan TV. Dan Lawless, Nicky Hawkins, great guys. With them on DR Sports a lot, as you know, on the Saturday football show in the East End of London. EastEnders playing Mash Shop. Thank you very much for having us today. We've enjoyed our food. Should we have a little bite of this before we get on?
Can we get a spoon?
Listen, if you're not liking the video at this stage already, then make sure you do now, because we are about to try jelly deals.
Do you know what, right? I used to have a couple of Scouse mates, and I once showed them pie and mash.
Cheers, man.
And I know you have a few Scousers watching, obviously. And he said, well, feed that to my dog.
He wouldn't feed it to
because
his
of the
dog.
green, it don't look appetising, does it? But
No, my dog would probably wolf that down. He loved it.
but yeah, let's have a crack at these, mate.
Go on then.
Have I got the spine there? I don't want the spine.
It's a bit bony M, that.
It's not jelly deal.
No, look, I've got jelly on mine. Look.
Cheers.
Cheers, mate.
Bosh. It's the first 5 seconds that's the worst, but then after that, it's all right. Your base isn't great there, to be honest.
No, I've had second win. I didn't really like that one. To be honest. No.
This is what we had, by the way. If you can't, yeah, there you go. Jelly deals in the East End of London. You can't get more West Ham than that. Listen, good game on Wednesday. All the best for the rest of the
Always
season,
pleasure,
mate. Go and win that European Cup as well.
Thank you, mate. Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Take care.